What's up, everybody? It is Wednesday night, and it's time for Super Geeked Up.
Woo! Yeah!
Hey, everybody. My name is Jeff. Thank you very much for joining us and geeking out with us. This is Super Geeked Up, your live geeky pop culture show. We're going to talk some zany, geeky topics, play fun, geek-themed improv games. We really appreciate you joining us in the live chat and having fun with us. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host from Sincere Sarcasm, Francis Fernandez.
Yeah, president of the Beard Club, right over here.
Woo, that's right, that was
beard.
the chat earlier. Beard Club. Also in the Beard Club, our guest. He is from the Giant Size Team Up Podcast Network. It is Charles McFall.
Yeah, I'm the East Coast rep, and you've got my sworn enemy from the West Coast, Points of Interest Podcast Network. What's up, Jeff? Are you trying to start the beat, man? What's going on?
That's right. It is from the Points of Interest Podcast Network. It is Josh Hawks.
I am here. I'm over here. I didn't know we had beef, so this should be interesting.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Starting right now. All right, thank you guys for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Wendy.
All right, so let's get, and thank you guys in the chat, Frank. And if you're watching live, you know we had, this is our second time doing this, so we appreciate you sticking around. Let's do our super geeky question here for the night. Francis, what's that?
Yeah, well, look, we're talking about relief. Whew, we're back. What a relief. So now we're going to be talking about which characters in a sci-fi, fantasy, or superhero movie or television show provides that best comic relief. Who's the one? Who is the funniest? They're going to get divided.
Go ahead, Charles.
All right, so I think about it. Right. It's a tough one. I usually watch sci-fi, but I really enjoy Wash of Firefly. He always had the little moments where he tried to say something and all the serious people would walk away. And, when he died, it was way too soon. And I cried hard every time I see that scene. But he's my favorite comic relief in the sci-fi anything.
Awesome. That's a great choice. Absolutely. Great. All right. Yeah, thank you. Yes, everybody's back now. Coming back in the chat. Oh, no. Gotta be echo, man. I tested this off air, and it was no echo at all.
Deadpool. Yay, Deadpool. Hey, Steve Urkel. Hey.
On the top of his list. Let's just keep going. Maybe it'll magically fix itself. Let's see. Oh, there's Deadpool right there. Nice, Charles.
Nice.
It's funny. I almost wore my mask.
Your Deadpool mask?
I almost did, yeah.
Do you have a whole costume or just a mask?
I have an entire costume.
Oh, I've never seen you in that. That's awesome.
That's because I'm too busy doing, work
stuff.
Exactly.
Right. He's too busy being a superhero to wear costumes.
Exactly. I have been wearing it to the grocery store, though. And
that's good.
I don't get any reaction actually, which kind of sucks. I get like one in 10 people will be like, "Hey," or they'll giggle, but everybody else, is just kind of doing their thing.
Wow, I like that. Yeah, sure, why not? I mean, if
it's not the right place. Like you go to Comic-Cons to get the reaction of being in a superhero costume or part of one. The grocery store people don't know what to do with it. It's kind of like, what's going on?
No, that's a good point. Yeah. One day I'll take off my mask and go to the supermarket, and that's the real me. Well, and everyone's gone.
All right. Sorry, I was trying to fix the echo here. I don't know if that worked or not, but let me know if it did, folks. So Listener Man has a good choice. He has Steve Urkel from Family Matters, great comic relief character, absolutely. Victor says Deadpool's top of his list. I think we got that. Bro Ties Are Cool says, "Hey, I haven't dropped by one of these streams in a long while." That is true. He used to always watch. Thank you for coming back. That's great to see you. And let's see here. Who else do we got here? Tammy says she once wore a beard for a Jack Sparrow cosplay, but my mom wore it better. Okay, nice. That's great.
That's one way to. Sure.
Carrie says, with sarcasm dripping, greatest comic relief ever, Jar Jar Binks. Okay.
And for some people, that's true.
Yeah,
for some, yes. Yeah.
All right, Francis, what about you?
If it comes to fantasy, Jocks Are the Mighty for Xena probably would be.
I forgot Jocks are. It's a great choice.
Yeah. He's definitely comedy relief. You can't go wrong when he starts singing. And again, another singing character.
Oh. Why don't we? You want to sing the little first part of it?
Nope. I saw that coming a mile away.
Come on, dude. You know how easy it is compared to what we did last week on singing?
Oh man.
I'll sing it with you.
It's different when you're. Alright, everyone, ready? 1, 2, 3. Jocks are the mighty.
I'm always very tidy.
Oh,
you didn't even know this. All right, forget it.
I didn't know. Thanks. And the King of Thieves guy. Yeah, I thought he was great too. I thought he was great comic relief as well. Mine too. I didn't see the Evil Dead stuff, so to see him on there, I thought was great. So,
all right.
Yondu, right? Yondu in the Guardians of the Galaxy. He's a great comic relief.
Oh yeah.
Because he plays it so seriously, right? He's so stoic.
I went with Spike from Buffy.
All right, yeah.
That's a good choice too.
I mean, not always the top of the list of one-liners, but when he had one, they always hit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, dude, he had some laugh out loud things the way he delivered some lines, man. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Bro Ties in the chat says Merry and Pippin were great comic relief, in my opinion, from Lord of the Rings.
Oh sure, yeah. Second breakfast.
Tammy gives us the rest of the lyrics. The Jocks are the mighty. Thank you, Tammy. That's right. All right, I guess he's not going to do it. That's fine.
No. You get it, and I'm like, does that go with it? The Jocks roam through the countryside. He never
needs a place to hide. With Gabby as his sidekick, fighting with her little stick.
Oh man.
His Jocks are the mighty.
Well, I guess I know which show I need to rewatch.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, I need to go back.
All right, so Johnny says my sound is a bit low compared to the others. Yes, let me try to adjust that. Thank you, sir. But if it's not echoing, that's good news. I'll take it. All right, let me see here. Keep putting your chats in, folks. If you just joined us, we're talking best comic relief characters in, like, sci-fi, fantasy, superhero, any kind of stuff like that. Let's see. So I got a couple of choices. One of mine is, as I talked many times in the show, Ron Stoppable from Kim Possible animated series on Disney Channel. He was fantastic comic relief. I'm also going to throw in a character from Alias, which I was a big fan of that show. There's a guy named Marshall Flinkman, who was Flinkman. That was Kevin Weissman played him. He was like the nerdy tech guy that Sidney Bristow, Jennifer Garner, he's got support from. Yeah.
Well, if we're gonna go there, Alfred from Batman. Alfred's a great comedic relief for Batman, I have to say.
Wait, which Alfred?
Like 60s Alfred?
No, for the animated series. He was
the animated one.
He was always just the most sarcastic. Okay, so very, very, the humor
Alfred.
was. Yeah, that's next to what's his face? Michael Caine. That's my other favorite Alfred. Michael Caine was just.
Oh no, dude. Michael Gow from from Burton's Batman is my favorite Alfred by far.
Oh yeah.
He just nailed it. He was amazing. Anyway, and I also have my last choice for comic relief are good old C-3PO and R2-D2 from Star Wars, of course.
Oh sure.
As the years went on, much more comic relief for sure.
Yeah. I think in the originals though they were very funny. You guys got any other choices? Any other comic relief things you guys thought about as we've been chatting here?
Well, Dr. Horrible sing-along blog, the whole thing kind of was comic relief, wasn't it?
That's it. I love that, man.
Yeah. Felicia Day is maybe the only serious character there.
Yeah.
Chris O'Donnell had the best line in any superhero movie ever. Was it Chris O'Donnell?
Batman and Robin?
Yeah, because he got the holy rusted metal Batman.
Holy rusted metal. Oh man. Oh, it's nice to meet you. That's.
No, the rest of the movie sucked. But
that part you liked. Okay.
I'm a '60s Batman guy. I've got the box set sitting over here.
Dude,
so
I loved I wanted them to do some kind of holy line. That was great. Absolutely. I'm with you, man.
If only he talked to himself on the phone like he did in the classic 66 Batman episode.
Which was also awesome. Adam West was just acting big time.
To himself on the phone? You mean without another actor, do you mean?
Well,
he played Bruce Wayne and Batman on the phone.
Commissioner Gordon connected Bruce Wayne and Batman together. He had to
one time?
Oh, yeah. You actually see him with two phones talking into each as his voices of Batman and Bruce Wayne.
That's great.
It's so good.
We got some other cool answers here in the chat. Chris Hadley says, I said rich.com from Blind Spot is great comic relief. I have actually not seen that, but I will absolutely take your word for it, Chris. Carrie says, good call, Chris Hadley. Victor says, Mork from Mork and Mindy. Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
Tammy's got it. No, Tammy's got it.
Yeah, what's Tammy say?
Barf from Spaceballs. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Great comedy relief.
Yeah.
Good old Andy.
Scorpio says, Francis has a point. It was a dry humor, but Alfred is the closest thing to comic relief in Batman.
Mm-hmm.
What about Batmite?
That's more. Batmite didn't show up until the Brave and the Bold, I think.
Yeah, I'm just saying. He's still in there, right?
Yeah.
Johnny says Malin Wash and Firefly, so there you go, another Firefly one. Charles. Bro Ty says Saitama.
Saitama. Main character and the comic relief of One Punch Man. Yeah, Saitama's very. But anyway, when no one can beat you, you have to build a sense of humor.
So does One Punch Man always defeat someone with one punch?
That's the story of the anime. That
seems very boring fights, though.
That's the point. Everyone tries so hard to beat him, and
they spend three episodes charging up their power for that one punch.
Dragon.
And yet somehow it never gets above 9,000 because that's copyrighted.
Yeah, that's the limit.
The limit.
That's it.
That's the ceiling on power.
9,000. Sorry, guys.
All right, there we go, folks. That was our first geeky question about best comic relief characters. You can feel free to keep putting them in the chat. We're going to do some other fun stuff later on the show. We're going to talk which actors have portrayed best portrayals of superheroes. We're going to do Ultimate Geek Championship. We're going to have some fun debates about which characters would be other ones in battles. And we're going to do, of course, SGU After Hours later on. So if you are a Patreon supporter, you're going to have access to that. And you can do that at any time. You can do it during the show if you want. If you're not already, it's patreon.com/supergeekedup.
Super Patreon is a whole other thing.
Yeah.
That's right.
After dark.
Let's see here. Oh, and so Tammy has a nice answer I like because she knows I love this movie. She says Mad Mardigan from Willow, played by Val Kilmer. Absolutely. Yeah, he did have a lot of funny moments in that movie.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Let's go into our first geeky game of the night. This is called Universal Translator. All right, so folks, in the chat, I'll tell you how it's going to go here. But first off, just give us some fictional languages in the chat. So like, Klingons, stuff like that. Anything that's like a geeky fictional language for us to do. So what's going to happen here is Charles and Francis are going to speak in some fictional languages. Josh and I will translate what they are supposedly saying into English. So give us some fictional languages in the chat. You can also give us some scenarios if you want, though we can also figure that out once we know the characters and the languages. Johnny says, because the echo is coming going, what do you guys need to upgrade from AOL dial-up? Well,
never. I'm gonna keep my. I love my.
I've had this for 20 years, man. I don't want to.
Still rocking this 26 page Bob.
You got mail. Welcome.
You're still at 14K. Watch out.
Oh.
There's no bleeping on this show. We can say whatever we want.
I love to have but sensors. Oh, that's so good.
It makes for good comedic timing sometimes.
All right, Lizzie Hedgehog just joined us in the chat. Hey, Lizzie, thanks for being here. All right, we got some choices here, folks. Let's see what you guys like here. We've got Elvish. We got binary language. We got Klingon.
Back. Binary always is coming back. I love it.
We got Klingon. We got Dothraki. Any of those things you like? Carrie says Zatanna spellcasting backward language. That's actually funny. We've never tried that. That's cool, Carrie.
Oh my god.
Because Zatanna, of course, says all her spells, and she has to say it reverse for them to be cast. She has to say the words in reverse.
No, thank you.
Well, you could actually just say whatever you want, though, because who the hell's going to know, really, right?
No, right.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean,
no way.
You just turned Josh into a cat. Good job.
I mean, I am down for anything. But I was actually kind of thinking along fictional languages, like Boomhauer from King of the Hill is kind of where
I don't watch King of the Hill. Who is that?
He's the one, hey, man, you know him?
Okay. That's how he always talks?
He always talks that way. He doesn't say anything. It's like a mix on Cajun and redneck, and it's just, I don't even know who voiced him. They had no lines written for him. He's always, yeah, man, you know what I'm saying, man?
Okay, cool. Let me share. That's absolutely an option. We also have from the chat here the Sims language, Sonic the Hedgehog, Charlie Brown. Yeah.
Wait. What's Sonic the Hedgehog? Is that just a ring sound? Bling, bling, bling.
He's asking, does he ever speak?
Well, in the movie, he does.
I mean, not until the movie.
Oh, that's right. So in the games, he didn't speak, right?
No.
They never had a voice from, not like Mario, where it's just.
Give you the thumbs up.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Is that your Mario?
Yeah.
I can do the announcer for Mario. No record.
Just do Mario World, Mario Odyssey. That's our languages. I'll be Mario. You'll be voiceover. Done.
All right. So here, let's try to use someone from the chat here. What do you guys?
All right. What you got?
Do you guys like any of the ones I've mentioned?
I'll speak Animal Crossing. So Scorpio recommended that.
I've never played that. Is that just like animal noises?
Yeah. Well, sort of. They almost sound like words, but it's using kind of just like.
Okay,
you know,
so you're gonna have to.
So it's like Simlish.
While we get a language for Charles, think about who you're gonna be. Give me a character you're gonna be.
As long as nobody's gonna call me out in geekdom because I don't know actual Klingon, I can do fake Klingon all day long.
Do it then.
But it's not gonna mean anything.
Nobody's gonna call you out. It's all good.
I don't think anyone really. I mean, does anyone really know?
Some people take it. It's a course, you know. They can.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah. But no, don't worry about it. Our audience are the best ever.
That was just
all right, so you're going to be a Klingon. So who are you, Francis? Are you a certain animal?
It doesn't really matter. I mean, I could be.
Pick a character. We need a character for you to be.
I'm never picking a character. Oh, so I get to pick the character.
Yeah, you just pick it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll just be Tom Nook.
You fascist criminal.
Wait, so who is that? What is it? A certain animal?
He's the one that gives you an island who.
Gives you.
Well, okay.
He puts you in crippling debt as soon as you show up in the game.
Yeah, and the hard, back-breaking labor, you pay off all of the stuff he gives you. So, I mean, you're paying for it, by pretty much treating him like a god, but that's fine.
So wait, is he a human or an animal?
He's a raccoon.
All right, so you're a raccoon.
I'm a raccoon.
And you're a Klingon. All right, so folks, what's this guy's name? What's his name?
Tom Nook.
Tom Nook. All right, you want to be a certain Klingon or like a Worf or somebody, or just any Klingon, Charles?
Any Klingon will do, as long as it's. Never mind, I don't see that one.
All right, let's say it's Worf and Tom Nook.
Okay.
Alexander Roshenko.
No. Well, fine. Yes, you know what? Let's do. We've never done him. Let's do Alexander Roshenko, Worf's son. Absolutely, why not? So Worf's son,
always whining
as a kid. Let's say as a kid, not as an adult.
No. He has to whine about everything.
And Tom Nook, Bowtie says Tom Nook, the loan shark.
Yeah, he's the loan shark.
Give us a scene, folks. What are Tom Nook and Worf's son Alexander doing? Give us a scene for these guys. Josh, who do you want to translate for? Tom Nook or the Klingon?
I do Klingon, I guess.
Okay. He's like, I don't want to do either of them actually, but all right. So Josh is going to translate for Charles, and I will translate for Francis. So, Francis, you can, when we will start off, and then I'll translate as soon as Francis says something. Then Charles, you'll say your language, and then Josh, you translate as soon as Charles speaks, and we'll keep going back and forth. So Jalou says Alexander was a failure of a Klingon. He found his own way, and that was more important.
Did.
Oh, okay. Brotai says they're getting initiated into the Avengers.
Oh God.
Of course they are.
Sure, someone's got to fund the Avengers now that Tony Stark is gone.
All right, thank you guys for these great sessions. Okay, so we got Tom Nook from Animal Crossing, Alexander Worf's son from Star Trek, and they are getting initiated into the Avengers. Francis is Tom Nook, Charles is Alexander, and Josh and I are translating.
Oh Lord!
All right, take it away, Francis. Oh, are you excited to join the Avengers? Do you know that there's a $1,000 entry fee? You can give that to me right now.
But I don't have $1,000. And wait, why would I give it to you?
Okay, well, how about this? Would you like some nice land in Toledo, Ohio?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, great. So just make sure all the crops you make on that you give to me, and don't tell Captain America about it.
Yep.
Captain America? The criminal? Never.
What? No. No.
Oh, I always thought he was a little shifty, too. I'm glad you see it.
Oh,
Now, how many crops now?
Two. Two crops. Ignore my hand motions. That's just the way I speak. It's two.
What, 2 crops? And why Captain America?
This is right up your alley. The 2 crops are blood wine and gawk.
What's with all the hands?
All right, let's stop there. Chris Wisdom just joined us.
Oh, you're the best, Chris Wisdom. I love that name.
His name?
I love that name.
I say Charles's Klingon is atrocious, but it's actually better than his English. Do you know Chris?
Yes, I am familiar with Chris Wisdom, the world famous Christoph Wisdom in all things wisdom.
Okay.
Did I spell it correctly?
Was that like a shameless plug right there?
No, you won't be able to find it because he does not spell it correctly on any platform. So.
Oh, that's great.
That's really a dig at him more than anything.
Well, thank you for joining us, Chris. We appreciate it. Thank you for the dig on Charles. And Chris says, Francis, you sound like the adult in Charlie Brown now.
I picked a little from everybody, apparently. Because the way they spoke just immediately, once they said it, it left my head. So, I did what I could with my...
And then Jalou said, if that is Klingon, it's the highest pitched, least warrior Klingon on Kronos.
It's a kid!
Yeah.
The effects
like we're doing a kid. I get it. Yeah.
But I tried to pick the higher pitch sounds like crap, so I feel bad.
Oh, Victor says, ouch, I thought I said mean things in the chat. Yeah, I guess we're today. All right. Cool. All right. Thank you guys for those suggestions. We appreciate it. All right. So we're going to do some more geeky questions and games later on the show. Actually, you're right. So we're about to talk to our guests here. We're going to find out what they're up to. But you guys can actually, I need your help for something, guys, because even though WonderCon is not happening in person, WonderCon contacted me about doing recorded panels that they're going to put up as a virtual con. So this Friday, I'm recording Super Geeked Up for WonderCon, but we can't do it live, unfortunately. So, but I want to work your guys' suggestions in because you're awesome, and I still want to make you guys part of the show. So if you can, I know what games we're going to do on the recording. So if you can start putting in some suggestions in, we're not going to use them today, but I will use them on Friday in the recording, and then you get to see that when it goes up on YouTube. So let's start with this. We do a game called Ridiculous Rhyming because Francis rhymes on the show every freaking week. I'm not dissing you. I think it's great. Rhyming and singing, that's what we do every week here, basically.
More or less, yeah.
But anyway, give me like some superhero world. And what I mean by that is, like, let's say we're in the world of Spider-Man or the Justice League or Batman, whatever. Just throw out some superheroes, basically, and we'll use that when we do a recording for our game. And actually, as you're doing that, give me any other fictional characters, because we can use those for another game we're going to do called the Let's Geek It on Dating game.
Spider.
Oh, all right, thank you.
Sorry,
it's not in the chat, but I appreciate that.
Right.
Sorry, guys.
I'm gonna write it down physically. How about that? There you go. Silk Spider. I got it.
The poet. Is John's like I thought that was a character.
Oh, is that your new name, the Poet Laureate?
Oh, not good.
Chris says, "Congrats, Jeff." Oh, thanks, Chris. Yeah, I'm actually excited that we get to still, do the panels. Just keep putting fictional characters in there, basically, and then we'll use them in a bunch of our games here. Oh, okay. Actually, I see people said too much coffee, man, as Chris did. So you know what? Chris is actually smart, because another thing I was going to ask for is made-up superhero names. So he's ahead of the game. He's got a lot of wisdom. So yes, put in made-up superhero names, but also give us real superheroes like Batman. We need both of those for all the games we're going to do on Friday. So just put all that stuff in there, and we'll use it later. All right. But now, as you're doing that, folks, let's talk to our guests. Let's start with Charles here. All right, so Charles, tell us about some of the shows you do in the Giant Size Team Up Podcast Network.
Well, my mainstream show is Breaking the Panel, where we just talk about what we love in fandom. And we started off doing, if you go back to the older show, you use news stories to bounce off with discussions. And that's kind of hard to do nowadays, and have good discussions. So we're breaking it up into 4 bite-sized chunks, so 30 minutes each. We recorded it in a 2.5-hour session. Wednesday night, right before it is. But it's a lot of fun with Paul Klotz, Chris Wisdom, and Bill Keating. And we had Anthony Reed on from Adventures Inc. on tonight. And I love doing it. I love doing Breaking the Panel. Where it's kind of like con panels, right? You're sitting there, but we're each bringing one thing we love to the table to talk about in each half-hour episode. So it's a lot of fun. I do Pokemon Go podcast as well about the game Pokemon Go, and FDH Beyond about the game Marvel Strike Force. And I'm working on a new project coming out soon, and still working on Dragon Con. Still building panels and scheduling Dragon Con out for September. So that's what keeps me busy.
Awesome, that's great, man. Yeah, you got a lot of awesome stuff going on. I've actually been a guest at Breaking the Panel. It was a lot of fun. That's awesome. Yeah. All right, Josh, let's go over to the Points of Interest Podcast Network. You want to talk about some of the stuff you guys and you and Francis do over there?
Yeah, well, Francis and I, we are on the Points of Interest podcast, kind of the main sales show, if you will, the Points of Interest Podcast Network, and we just we're gonna have a soft reboot here coming up here pretty soon, but so far, life chats and maybe a lesson here or there, but mostly we bring topics up and we solve no answers. Or come up with no answers. And the network as a whole is just a group of talented folks that all like the art of making pod. So come check it out.
As a whole.
Yes. Yes.
And what's the where I can find it?
You can find it at POIPodcast.com.
And awesome, Charles, where can they find your stuff?
GSTU.net. GSTU.com or GSTU.net.
All right, let me put this up for you. Check out all that cool stuff. All right, let's again, folks. Thank you for all the great suggestions here in the chat here. A lot of made-up superhero names that are great. Also, remember, throw some like real superheroes in there as well. We can use for our recording we're gonna do for WonderCon. What was that?
I like
Yeah. Also, feel free to give us some crises, some kooky crises for superheroes to solve, like not real ones, but like ridiculous ones. Put all that stuff in the chat, and I'll go through it later on.
Like a loss of underwear.
Floss with underwear? What?
No, a loss of underwear.
I thought you were gonna floss with your underwear.
I mean, pinch.
But yes, a loss of underwear would be a good ridiculous crisis. Absolutely, Josh, you got it. Brotai says, whatever happened to Monday Night Mayhem? Well, you have great timing, sir. That was a RPG thing we used to do, and actually, we're gonna start doing RPG streams probably next week again. So you are great timing. So we're gonna start bringing that back. We'll do some role-playing game fun there, so yeah, watch for that soon. And we're gonna do it live, so you guys get to be part of the fun.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. All right, good. There's all our guests. Thank you guys very much. We'll give those links out again, of course, at the end of the show. Let me give some shout out here to our awesome Patreons. So we will give a super geeky shout out every week to our people who donate $10 a month or more. We call them our super shout out patrons. So hey, Francis, you want to read who those people are this week?
Yes, I would love to give a shout out to Maria and Justin Duran from KLI Brand, Craig Allen Poole, will be coming up soon, Rachel J, Victor Snyder, Nicole B, Kyle Schwab, and Sidos.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. And thank you to everybody, no matter what level you're at. We really appreciate your support very much. And remember, at the end, after our normal show tonight, we're going to do SGU After Hours. So if you're a Patreon supporter, you can join our bonus segment and have some extra fun with us. Again, that's patreon.com/supergeekedup. All right. Okay, cool. Yeah, thank you, folks, for all these great suggestions as well that we can use for our Friday recording. All right, let's go to our second super geeky question of the night. Which actor has given the best portrayal of a superhero? I'm using actor to refer to any gender, by the way. You know, it's funny, when I first started to write my answers down, I was earlier today, I started with live action, then I realized all my real actual favorites are animated voice actors.
Yeah. Sure.
Almost all of them. So I'll give you one right off the bat. Actually, my one live action is absolutely Christopher Reeve as Superman.
See, I was going to say Brandon Routh played Superman.
Thank you.
Christopher Reeve is the ultimate for me. He's Superman. Like, I don't know. Like, I can't. Like, he just nailed it.
I guess I grew up watching the I lost names at it. Dolph Lundgren Punisher. But when Thomas Jane did Punisher, that was it. That was the heartbreak. That was the loneliness, the hopelessness. And actually, I liked Dolph Jane for the movies, and I cannot remember the name, but the guy in the Daredevil series. The Punisher. He really didn't up Thomas Jane's game on that for me.
Nice. Chris says excellent choice, Jeff. Johnny says Brandon Routh. So actually, Francis, you know what, is he? I didn't mean to cut you off there earlier. Is he your favorite Superman, Brandon Routh?
Yeah, actually he is.
Okay, that's cool. Like from when he was in the movie, or more from the Crisis?
Well, like I said, he was playing Christopher in as Superman in returns in Superman Returns. Like I know that was what he was doing. He wasn't trying to use Poe to Superman, which was fine. But I think that was such the sheer weight of having to do that and being able to pull it off, I thought was really impressive. So that's why I'm giving it to him, because he pulled off the Boy Scout pretty well for such big shoes to fill, So I got to give it to that guy.
I would even argue he played it again in Crisis, the same way.
A little bit, yeah. As Kingdom Come Superman or whatever.
Yeah, he had a couple different versions, right, that he played there.
Yeah.
So Lister's Mate says Kel Mitchell from Mystery Men, who played Invisible Boy.
You can if you don't look at him.
Lou says, so, you know what? Sure, why not consider him a superhero? Reginald Barclay from Star Trek: The Next Generation. I do love Barclay. Well, in that one episode, he became all powerful, so he was kind of like a superhero.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. We got Johnny Papa says Batfleck. I love Ben Affleck as.
Oh, yeah, he's good.
He's actually my favorite live action, believe it or not.
I thought he was a good Bruce Wayne. I don't think he was a good Batman.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Cool. I like them as both. Brotai says, does Heath Ledger's Joker count? Sure, absolutely. Yeah, you can do villains if you don't want to do heroes. Sure. Yeah.
We really haven't gotten a whole lot of Aquaman on the big screen except for the most current. Yeah, Mo. I thought he was excellent as Aquaman because the animation, right? Brave and the Bold. Not Justice League Unlimited. Yeah, Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah, Justice League.
And I love those takes, that more rowdy take on Aquaman. And I thought he did a great job bringing that to the screen.
The Aquaman on Smallville wasn't all that. Like, they didn't stand out all that much.
Yeah.
And then they tried to do the spin-off show, but that didn't take.
Yeah, not at all.
Well, so Josh, what are your choices?
I gotta. The only one I come up with is the animated voice, though.
Which one?
Kevin Conroy.
Yes.
As Batman.
Yeah. Best Batman ever.
Now, did you watch Crisis where he was Bruce Wayne?
I'm still a little behind, so no. Okay. Yeah, I know he's there though.
I'm just curious on your take, but obviously you haven't seen it yet, so.
I love that Kevin Conroy was.
I don't have to worry about spoilers.
It was great. We won't spoil it for you, Josh. Yeah.
No, it doesn't. That doesn't matter.
But I thought, it was great. I thought it was a great portrayal. He was, both ornery and old. He did it great. He did great, old and ornery. So
ornery thing down.
Yeah.
We mentioned Smallville a minute ago, and you mentioned Brandon Routh as your favorite. Interesting note, Tom Welling of Smallville was offered that role. Like they were going to bump him up to the big screen from the show, and he didn't want to be typecast, so he turned it down. And then seeing him both in Lucifer as a separate character and then in crossover as that returning Superman character, I'm like, man, I like Brandon Routh. Absolutely thought he did a great job. But I'm like, I kind of would like to see what Tom Welling would have done had he been given the freedom to go on and do bigger, better things with Superman.
I would like that too.
Yeah.
Although what I read is actually that it's not that he didn't want to do it, is that it conflicted too much with the Smallville shooting schedule.
Okay. We can only trust so much, but we can trust. But yeah, I thought it was. Yeah.
They always said from the beginning of that show, no fight, no tights.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was never about Superman.
Yeah, that's why I love Smallville so much, because it was about Clark Kent.
Right.
Yeah.
And then everyone else came in. Then you got all the
later years of they did up the superhero quotient. Yeah.
Now I will say, not superhero, but the best Jonathan Kent was. I had the name. I keep doing that tonight. No. In the movies, in the current movie, Man of Steel.
You're kidding me, Costner?
Yeah, I thought he was great.
Field of Dreams.
Yes. Because he was that overprotective dad, as you should be with this kind of thing. He's afraid for his kid.
All right, this is going to be like Charles and I Quantum Leaps debate.
Well, remember we did, yeah.
I brought that up last week, but I mentioned you. I mentioned your point, your rebuttal.
Yeah.
So Kevin Costner's great. There's so many movies I love of his, but man, I could not stand that version of Jonathan Kent.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
And it's not Costner really. It's what they did with him, right? And they're like, no, don't save me. You must protect your identity.
Well, that's not the first time. That wasn't the first time I've seen that either. One or two of the offshoot animated movies did that too. But yeah.
Oh, that drives me nuts.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm not saying the writing was the best. I just thought he did a good job. That's the greatest. That's the greatest blow off. I'm glad you enjoyed that.
No. I say this like everybody. I am actually glad. Like, we don't ever put people down for. I'm glad other people enjoyed it, even if I didn't. That's what it's there for. We all get our differences. Let's see. I'm just looking at the chat here. We see what we got. Tammy had 2 choices: Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
absolutely. She also said earlier, Linda Carter, mic drop. Yes, that's one of my choices. Linda Carter as Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
I also think Gal Gadot is doing a great job as Wonder Woman. Let's see here. Oh, Johnny Pappas has one of my other choices. Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man. Yeah.
See, we're just polar opposites because I thought that was the worst Spider-Man.
I would agree. I don't know about the worst, but definitely. I think this new kid is definitely on it.
Oh, Tom Holland, yeah, man.
Nah, Toby all the way for me.
Since we're there, okay, then fine. J.K. Simmons as Jonah Jameson.
Yes. And so much yes that they brought him back. They're like, here's a pile of money. Come do 10 seconds.
Wait, he's in the latest Spider-Man?
Yeah.
As
he's at the end of it. Yeah, he's
here.
Yeah,
he's back.
You're right. I don't know if there's anybody more perfect than that portrayal.
He's the J. Jonah Jameson. That's it.
And he's the lieutenant in the Batman series. He's Gordon. Thank you, Gordon. Lieutenant Gordon.
Yeah, man, he gets to be in both universes.
Man, this is the night you have to have people name things, and I cannot name anything tonight. But you get where I'm going.
I'm just showing them why they should agree with me and not you.
Geez, shots fired.
Just kidding.
Fair enough. I can't argue with it.
We should do a panel where it's you and me. We're just disagreeing on every single point.
Yeah.
Francis can get a referee shirt.
That's fine.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
No, Charles is great. Charles actually made a great counterpoint to my Quantum Leap thing last year at Dragon Cons. I had to actually really think about it after he made his point.
And yet I'm still wrong.
All right. Let's see here. So did everybody get some of their choices in? Wait, right? Yes, all you guys did?
Yeah. I'm
going to get some of my other ones.
J.K. Simmons.
So Mark Hamill as the Joker in the animated show is amazing, I feel.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah.
And someone who probably we don't really mention as much, but I think she's awesome. And actually, my all-time favorite Wonder Woman is Susan Eisenberg, who played her in the Justice League and Justice League Unlimited series.
Okay, gotcha.
I think she was just like the perfect Wonder Woman. I also think the way they wrote that was just like fantastic. Like, it's everything I want Wonder Woman to be. So yeah, I think she's fantastic. Chris says, "Shot fired indeed, Jeff." Just kidding.
I got one more. In the Titans series, I don't know the actor's name, but that Robin is outside the animated series is probably one of the best live action Robins ever seen. And I know he's dark and tormented, but I really dug how the guy played him.
Cool. I haven't seen that yet, but all right, cool.
I haven't seen it.
Well, then don't watch it because you and I disagree on everything.
Right.
So you're right.
Let's see here. Jalou says Master Chief from Halo. Is that a superhero? Close enough.
I mean, to some.
Yeah.
Oh, the voice actor for him? Because that dude's everywhere. The guy who does the voice for...
He was going to be in a lot of different shows this year.
Yeah.
And then he says, would Cortana be an anti-hero? So, I have never played Halo. I know Cortana is my Microsoft voice assistant, but what is Cortana in Halo? Is she the voice
same
assistant?
thing.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Basically.
Well,
it's a broad stroke, but yeah.
She's a voice assistant
AI?
with...
Yeah.
They named Cortana after her, right? After, yeah.
Except your Windows Cortana doesn't come with like a and short crop hair. So,
is there an actual image of her?
Yeah, she's they do an image of her, and you think like there's implications. There's kind of a thing going on between Master Chief and Cortana in the game. It's like,
she is inside him.
Oh, man.
I mean, it's true.
Suit of armor. The guys in the suit.
Well, no,
Fine.
she's the suit of armor. He's technically inside her. So you know.
I was waiting for it. I was going to say it.
Somebody else said it.
Anyway, there you go. Tara Strong as Harley Quinn. There you go.
Yes.
That's my last one.
Yes.
Tara Strong.
That is a great choice.
Or
But
Bubbles.
Is she not doing the new Harley Quinn, or she is?
She's not doing
She's not,
Harley
right?
Quinn. Something yet.
I
Yeah.
believe so.
So cursey, that Harley Quinn. Put a potty mouth on her.
Oh, the new one?
Yeah. On the new cartoon. It's like an adult
Yeah.
version of it.
Here's maybe a controversial spin, but again, don't know the actor's name at all. But on Gotham, the actor who plays Penguin, I thought he did one of the best representations of Penguin out there.
It's a good choice.
That was Taylor. Wait, Taylor Robin.
Something Taylor. Yeah, we're doing a real good job.
Robin Taylor or something.
Yeah.
Laura Taylor? I don't know.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Yeah, Home Improvement.
Belle Biv DeVoe.
Hey, Jonathan Taylor Thomas was actually in a couple episodes of Smallville, so that's not that much of a reach.
That's true. You're right about that. Yeah. Charlie Cox is Daredevil. Johnny Pappas in the chat room.
Thank you,
He
Johnny.
was great.
That's what Charles was trying to remember half an hour ago. So thank you. We appreciate that. All
Thanks,
right, I'm not gonna
Jalou.
read that comment. I will read. Lister's Mate says, "Wait a minute. What about Mark Pazula, aka Captain Amazing?" That's actually from my show, Super Knocked Up. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that reference. I think Mark was great as Captain Amazing. Absolutely, great job.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, I didn't do it though. It was.
No, that's true, I guess.
Yeah.
So thank you. I appreciate that. That was very nice of you.
All right, Josh. Superhero now for our
right.
show.
He actually named his puppy Captain Amazing after the character. That was really cool.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, Robin Lord Taylor. Oh, I was right. Lord was in the name.
Oh, we were all kind of in the right area anyway.
I
wish it was
names in some kind of order together. All right, folks. Now for our next game, well, Francis is going to describe this for us actually, and then we'll tell you what we need to do in the chat.
Well, for our game, which is the ultimate Geek Championship, where we get to pair characters who are suggested from the audience and debate who would win in an epic one-on-one battle.
Is that what we're going to do at each battle?
Yeah. Well, something like that. Let's get ready to rumble.
Remember, different inflections. You don't get sued with different inflections.
Oh, man.
Or you put different emphases on the let's get ready to rumble.
So I can say like,
so Michael Buffer doesn't come
your
after you.
father.
Yeah. But then no parent could ever say that to their kid. I am your father. No, that's copywritten. You can't say that.
Well, remember, Carrie Fisher always said every time she looked in the mirror, she owed George Lucas like $25.
Why?
Because of the image rights.
Copyright her image?
Oh. Well, the whole it was just one of her jokes that she always told.
All right.
I don't have an ending for this, so I'll just take a bite.
All right. So what we need in the chat is give us some pairings of characters that can battle. They don't have to be superheroes necessarily or villains. They can be anybody. Just give us some things that we're going to debate who would win these battles. I've already got people doing it. Thank you very much, guys. Let's see here. Oh, Tammy says Toby versus Tom Spider-Man. So Tobey Maguire Spider-Man versus Tom Holland Spider-Man. I'm going to be outvoted on this one. That's okay. Okay, so why? Go ahead, Charles. Make your amazing argument.
Tobey Maguire took a crap on the movies when he was touring to promote it. Tom Holland was born to play Spider-Man. And we were little big ass when he was a kid, which was like years ago. His Spider-Man costumes and stuff. His demo tape for it is doing backflips with Spider-Man stunts. But the icing on the cake is how he portrays a true Spider-Man fanboy when he meets everybody in the universe, right? He snatches Captain America's shield up and like, I got it. Hey, Cap, big fan. You're whatever line, right? He's got that fanboy. He just loves everything in the universe. So that's my take.
Yeah, his interaction with Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
We're using made-up names.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, look. I mean, first off, Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker wasn't very smart. He was a 30-year-old in high school. What was a 30-year-old doing in high school?
Points.
Well,
Are you done? Can I go, or you got more to say?
I think he tickled himself.
Yeah, he's laughing at that joke now. All right.
Yeah.
Keep putting these are great in the chat, folks. Keep putting these matchups in there. All right. So number one, we are not debating the actors. We are debating the characters. So I will.
All right.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter their age or how they promoted the movie. All right. So Tom Holland's Spider-Man. That's right. He needs all his Avenger friends to do stuff, and he's got his nose up Tony Stark's ass, and all he can say is, "Oh, he's like freaking Samwise and Frodo," which we talked about last week. And Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man's his own man. He doesn't have anybody else to help him. He's got to defeat all the villains on his own, multiple villains usually, yeah. So that's why I think he's the best.
Yeah. I wish he'd be happy every once in a while, though. He was sad all the time.
Well, he's happy once he gets with Mary Jane before it.
Spoilers.
Yeah. Come on.
I know.
All right. Well, so obviously Tom Holland won that one in terms of the majority. So let's go with, oh boy, wow, these people are all over the place. This is great. They got like bands in here. They got scientists. Okay, you know what? I'm going to do this one with Jalil. We've never done scientists. Isaac Newton versus Stephen Hawking.
Ooh.
Well, that's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to go with Hawking just because he had the cool chair and the computer voice. I don't know anything about their scientific, contributions to life, but he had the chair and the cool voice. So I'm going with him.
Newton, he has calculus, he has physics, he had
the apple fall on his head, right?
Right. That's the story.
Different laws.
Right. Yeah. Different Newtonian laws. Yeah.
That's some of it.
Hey, give it the time. Give it the centuries. That's
good. Stephen Hawking. The man came for himself, found a black hole 20 years before science could catch up. He was freaking right.
Right.
He called it a fry hole. I mean, a Hawking hole.
And I'll agree with you on this one, Charles, on Hawking.
Okay.
Number one, Hawking guest star in the Next Generation. Newton couldn't do that because it was unlimited. Also, there's something called the Ein. Oh, no, I'm right. That's not right. That's not Hawking at all. That won't help. Hawking did do some stuff with parallel universes, right? Did he have some theories on that?
String theory stuff, right?
Yeah, string theory was his thing.
Yeah.
I love parallel universe stuff, so if he had something to do with that, then I'm with Hawking.
Yeah, he did some stuff on parallel universes.
I was thinking Einstein-Rosen bridge, but that's before.
Hey, come on. Newton had to hit him in the head. Hawking had to overcome everything.
The only problem is Hawking couldn't exist without Newton.
That's what I was thinking. Could his stuff, yeah.
It's the one that gave him all of the principles and gave him the foundation for his his astrophysics.
That's a very good argument. Yeah, that's a very good argument.
The man bent space and time. Just look at it. He passed away. Then we finally see the black hole. I'm just saying, he didn't pass away. He ascended up into the universe. Went, see, right here. It's right here.
Yeah, but
so there you go.
We don't name anything a Hawking.
That's true.
Named after him, at least.
Maybe he's modest. That's because he's so modest.
Oh,
yeah.
No. He wasn't modest.
All right. Well, Charles, anytime we disagree, at least we have Stephen Hawking to agree on now. We know.
We'll always have Stephen Hawking.
Always have Hawking. All right, let's do Chris Hadley. Krispy Kreme versus Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, come on.
I'm Dunkin' Donuts.
Krispy Kreme.
Oh, come on!
Here's the reason. Krispy Kreme does not have variety. They make basically a very specific type of donut, right?
Yeah, yes.
And it's good, but you get sick of it. Dunkin' Donuts, you have like 20 different varieties. You have munchkins. You can get all different kind of stuff there. You can get bagels. You can get everything.
Yeah. The coffee, though, I think is superior at Krispy
Kreme?
Krispy Kreme.
I don't drink coffee, so I don't care.
Yeah, it's coffee tea. It's coffee bean and tea leaf. But but a warm Krispy Kreme donut melts in your mouth. What do you make those Krispy Kreme? What do you make those hamburgers that are like donut hamburgers? You make them out of the Krispy Kreme donuts. Dunkin' Donuts to make.
Nobody goes to Dunkin' to get a cake.
But that sounds good.
Yeah, nobody goes to Dunkin' to go get the cake donut to put on their hamburger.
I love the cake donut, but I don't put donut.
No, I'm not dissing. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I got you. I didn't know people did donut hamburgers. That sounds good.
Oh, it's a California thing, I bet. It's probably got
avocado. Now that I'm here, I got to start doing it, I guess. I didn't realize.
Go to the county fair when it's open, and
I've never seen a donut hamburger at the fair. I went to the fair out here.
Specific booth from...
booth.
It's only one booth that does...
I need the donut hamburger booth, please. Can you direct me to that?
It's the one that does the deep fried Oreos, deep fried cheesecake, deep fried air, pretty much.
Deep fried air, yeah.
Just call it Georgia and be done with it.
Hey, I had a deep fried watermelon. Delicious.
So Johnny makes, I think, a good point. East Coast people love the dunk. Yes, where I'm from in the Northeast, Dunkin' Donuts like rules basically. Like they're everywhere, and we don't have Krispy Kreme.
Yeah, and Krispy Kreme was born in Tennessee, so yeah.
Oh, is it more of a Southern?
Yeah. You make a really good point with Dunkin' Donuts. I mean, I favor Krispy Kreme. I'm going to get just a dozen. I'm going to get Krispy Kreme. But even if you do the variety with the icing and everything else, it still is the same donut, just with more sugar on it. So you might have won me over to Dunkin' Donuts in general because I love their sour cream cake donut. And you're right. You can get crullers. You can get bear claws. You can get all kind of different stuff there, man.
Donuts for holidays, yeah.
Krispy Kreme does too.
You know what? Even the fact that Charles is thinking about maybe agreeing with me, I'll take that victory.
It's hey, get the
So wait, Josh, are you Krispy Kreme? Is that your choice?
It's been so long since I've been to a Dunkin' that I'm gonna have to go with Krispy Kreme.
All right.
But yeah, I don't. Yeah.
All right, that was a close one. That was a close debate.
I'll go Tim Hortons.
If you say Tim Hortons, I'm gonna throw up and.
Do you guys have Voodoo Donuts?
Yeah.
Do you you put pins in them?
No.
I mean, you can ask them to do that.
Well, yeah,
they will.
Yeah.
Is that what it is, though? Is it like a voodoo doll?
No.
If you ask them to, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they'll do anything you want, man.
They'll do anything you want. The Voodoo Donuts is just, I mean, they have a wide variety, well, a semi-wide variety of donuts, but then their thing is kind of specialty donuts. You can get like a donut and icing if you want it.
Right. So they do they're more gimmicky than they are like, hey, we have donuts. We're more like, hey, we have donuts that look like things.
There's so many places that I have so many food allergies that like donuts in general just make me have food allergy problems. So, but I would go for a Krispy Kreme.
There you go.
All right. So before we move on to the next one, let me just share some chat viewers' comments. Chris says, as a matter of fact, I happen to have Krispy Kreme glazed donuts this morning. Nice.
There you go.
Johnny says, no, the coffee at Dunkin' Donuts is better. And then Lister's mate says, Krispy Kreme because it's from North Carolina. As a native North Carolinian, I have to go with them. Plus, Krispy Kreme has crullers. Oh,
that. There you go.
Yeah, sorry. I knew it was somewhere in there. Sorry about that, Lister. I knew it was from the South. For some reason, I just thought it was Tennessee instead of North Carolina.
All right, cool. Lots of food choices, but I'm going to go back to a character one here. This is from
Tammy. All of a sudden went to food.
I know, we got all food now. Tammy says Xena versus Wonder Woman, which are two of characters I know she loves, as do I.
Oof.
So, wait, which Wonder Woman?
I don't, take your choice.
Or as a premise.
Take your choice.
Oh,
I'm gonna go Wonder. I have to go. Look, I love Xena, but I have to go Wonder Woman because she's a goddess, right? I mean, I know Xena at some point was also kind of, I guess, right?
sort of demigod,
Yes. I don't know. I still think Wonder Woman's more powerful.
Mm-hmm.
She's been alive a lot longer. She's got the experience.
Can she scream like Lucy Lawless?
She can't do that. She can't throw the chakra, maybe. But she probably hasn't been to the underworld and back.
Yeah.
She might have been, actually, in one of the comics. I bet she probably has in a storyline, actually. What do you guys think, Xena or Wonder Woman?
It's Wonder Woman, yeah.
Wonder Woman.
All right.
I'll be the weirdo that says Xena because she has Gabrielle.
Gabrielle with her little stick.
I thought Gabrielle was the best. I was totally crushing on Gabrielle when that show.
Was Gabrielle your favorite instead of Xena?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you too. Wow, a lot of Gabrielle fans here.
She had the stick. I don't know.
She did have the bow, yes. She had the stick.
The stick.
Gabrielle, use your stick.
Yeah, Xena had the hole. She had the stick.
She had the hole? Come on.
Wow.
Holy.
The chakra, right? Chakra. She had a hole.
Chakra, yes. Chakra.
She had the fancy frisbee.
The fancy frisbee.
Fancy frisbee. Nice. All right. Oh, Tammy says Gabby was cute.
Mm-hmm.
And Johnny says Xena's derived from the Wonder Woman archetype.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let me hear. I'm trying to scroll. Do you see it? Oh, here we go. Jalou says, let's go back to a food one. In-N-Out versus Shake Shack. For me, In-N-Out, there's not even an argument here at all for me. I don't even know if you guys have Shake Shacks where you are. But
For me, it's Shake Shack for the fries. And
I know the In-N-Out fries are not good, but their burgers just are
not the burgers, but Shake Shack
That's
for the
more
fries.
important to me. The burgers are just awesome.
And
Josh, you probably don't have any of these things. I'm just guessing, actually.
No, I don't. I've never eaten. I've been to Vegas, so I've seen an In-N-Out, but I've never actually eaten there.
Have you had the? When was the last time you went to Vegas?
3 years ago.
You have White Castles out there, don't you?
Yeah.
Damn
Is In-N-Out a White Castle? Holy crap! No, that's horrible.
White Castle. Why are you talking about White Castle?
That's Josh's dream. Josh wants to go.
I have a long-term relationship with White Castle on Twitter. I tweet at them at least once a month to come to Denver, and because they would do really well here. Wink, wink.
Yeah, no, there's no wink, wink about it. That's exactly how that works.
And I typically say, like, don't you know your customer base? Why aren't you here?
Yeah. Well,
I'm surprised they haven't blocked me, to be really honest with you.
Now I'll plug, because I don't have either one of those. If you come to the East Coast, specifically Georgia, because I don't know how far up the East Coast they go, but from the Northeast, you got Five Guys Burgers and Fries, then I'm not sure where it originated, but I know it's here in Atlanta. 17 locations. Cookout is phenomenal. It's like being at a literal cookout. It's so good that way.
I gotta check Cookout. Is there one in Atlanta?
There's 17 in Atlanta.
17 in Atlanta.
Oh, jeez.
All right. Well, I know.
Cookout next time.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's a Shake Shack in Denver. I have never been to it, but In-N-Out all the way.
Yeah.
Because I only get
to do his first In-N-Out like a year or two ago, right?
Every year that I go out to California. Yeah. That is something I make Francis take me to as many times as possible, and I'm sure he's gets quite sick of it, of me going, well, we can go to In-N-Out.
I don't eat any until WonderCon or San Diego. That's when I wait, to save up the.
Apparently, there's 3 Shake Shacks in Atlanta.
Yeah, Shake Shacks are good. I'm a fan of Shake Shack. No, I think they're pretty good. They have
and Johnny says, Francis, are you really from SoCal? I think because you chose Shake Shack instead of In-N-Out.
Just for the fries.
All right.
Yeah.
Johnny had a good one earlier, a good matchup. Dr. Fate versus Dr. Strange.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Fate all the way. Dr. Fate's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, I think he has more powers than Strange.
Yes, I think
he
had powerful.
He had a pretty
with the helmet and the too. I think.
I was gonna say he had a pretty fresh mask. So yeah, Dr. Fate.
This is ancient Egyptian-based stuff is where he draws his power from, which is awesome.
Yeah, and Strange is.
I've never been a fan of Strange, actually, to be honest with you. Like, he doesn't do anything for me.
He isn't. Well, he is like a D tier Marvel character.
D tier.
Well, I mean, you know.
Hey, I want to get back to that in a minute. The tiers. Yeah. What about Josh and Charles? What do you, Doctor Strange or Fate?
Fate. Like I said, he's got the mask, so.
Fate's good. Fate is good, but there's never been a solid live action Dr. Fate. And if there was, there no Cumberbatch Benedict. So
no.
I'm gonna go Strange all the way.
Dr. Fate was on. There's a 2-part episode of Smallville where they basically did Justice League.
I believe I said good. I prefaced it with good, didn't I? I thought I did.
Damn.
Well, see, here's the thing. They actually, I thought they could have done some cool things with that, but they made the character kind of a little weird, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tell you though, they're solid. I love Dr. Fate too. I mean, he's really good character.
Really I don't think they've done anything else with. Well, the animated Dr. Fate is cool though in Justice League. They do a good job with him.
Yeah. Well, and they don't really do anything with. Again, Doctor Strange doesn't get much love in general.
So all right, so he's D tier. All right, so I want to okay, so there's A, B, C, and D now in Marvel. You're saying?
Oh, there's always been. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, wait, like by your rating or by an actual official?
By what I guess whatever was popular in comics at the time.
I mean, did the masses know who the Guardians of the Galaxy were?
Yeah, exactly. Like Guardians of the Galaxy were total D tier until they made.
So who do you put? So A tier would be what? Spider-Man, like Avengers.
Spider-Man, no, Avengers are B tier.
I wore my
Spider-Man and X-Men would be A tier.
I wore my Deadpool mask to a grocery store once, and someone called me Spider-Man.
Yeah,
I could see that.
Well, Spider-Man is at the top of the with Batman and Superman. Spider-Man is probably the most recognized superhero next to Batman.
I agree with that.
So you got them, you got the X-Men. Everyone knows who the X-Men are. Thank you, Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart.
Jack Human.
I mean, you got them. Then you'll probably get the Fantastic Four, maybe.
That's B tier.
I would
call them C. I think.
Yeah, but I mean, like, Iron Man is B.
When the movies were coming out, you can bump that tier up. I think because it was more in the
right.
It was more in the world and everybody's thought process, whatever. I can't think of the word on that.
But X-Men, I think was the top of the line tier when it came to Marvel.
Yeah. That Spider-Man and X-Men are the comics I read as a kid all the time. Those are the ones I always got.
Yep.
All right. Yes, Charles, I'm sorry. No.
No, you're good.
I do enjoy that you told people about if you get a shake from Cookout, if I was pointing it out in the chat. Thank you for that tip.
Yeah.
All right, let's do a couple more quick ones before we wrap up and get to our Patreon thing. Remember, folks, we're doing after hours tonight. If you want to join us at Patreon, you can go over to patreon.com/supergeekedup. As little as $3 a month will get you access to all our extra stuff. All right, Tammy has another cool one. These are two characters, actually, that are a couple of my favorites. It's Tana versus Hermione Granger. So two magic ladies. This is actually a tough one for me.
I don't know who Hermione is, so is Tana.
Do you know Harry Potter?
I've never seen it.
Okay, so Hermione Granger is Harry Potter, one of his best friends, and she's like the smartest of all the kids in the Wizard. She's a very good wizard. She's probably the best in the class, basically.
So she's the genius, I guess, right?
And Harry and Ron are kind of like not so great.
No, Zatanna's got the top hat, so yeah.
And the unitard.
He just goes by costume, basically.
I mean,
yeah.
Yes.
My experience with Zatanna was Batman the Animated Series, and I think a little bit Brave and the Bold. I can't remember. And she can hang with Batman. I mean, like she's top tier hanging with Batman. I just don't see Hermione being able to hang with Batman, so I'm about to vote Zatanna.
I agree.
I think I'm going to agree with you again. Yeah, I love Hermione. She's my favorite.
You guys agreed again.
I know, but I think Zatanna's. Yeah, she is actually a really powerful magic user.
Because Hermione's more of a, I hate to say, behind the desk type of witch, while Zatanna is more of a.
No one puts Hermione
behind the desk. I kind of think so, though. Like, she's not going to be the one out in the field. Well, Zatanna will be out in the field.
I don't
you know.
I mean, Hermione's awesome, but I think Zatanna's a little more powerful, and she can speak backwards fluently.
I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, your assessment of the movie in the books are absolutely spot on. Hermione outshined all the male fools in that movie by far. Right? Yeah.
Hermione and the Fools. That's your
there you go.
Subtitle.
All right, let's do one last one from Jalou here. Jaws versus Jurassic Park.
Come on.
Spielberg movies. For me, Jurassic Park all the way. It's one of my all-time favorite movies.
Wait,
Come on, dinosaurs are going to beat sharks, right? Because there's also water dinosaurs.
Yeah.
But the shark's real.
You're saying dinosaurs are real?
I said the shark. The shark is real.
Yeah?
The dinosaurs were just CGI.
Oh. But the shark was not
okay, no,
real.
the shark became CGI later.
The shark was not real. It was a really It was a really malfunctioning thing that made them shoot 1,000,000 times.
Well, what movie ends up in Back to the Future 2?
Jaws 33.
It's because they didn't make Jurassic Park at that time.
Stop messing with my logic, man.
You know what? Jurassic Park did that beautiful thing that only a few movies can do, which is jump that real time 20 some odd years later and keep making new movies. And it's in real time that we grew up with. Jaws, you made a movie today, we wouldn't know it different from the original Jaws. So I'm gonna have to go to Jurassic Park 2. Also, I mean,
Jurassic Park 2, not so much, but
yeah.
Because but I think Jaws is. I would say Jaws is more pop culture iconic than Jurassic Park is.
You're probably right on that one.
Pop culture iconic, yeah.
I don't know. We need a bigger boat. Now here, instead of characters, here's this. We need a bigger boat versus Clever Girl.
We need a bigger boat. Nah, we need a bigger boat.
What other Jurassic Park quotes are there, though?
Onto your butts.
Hey, onto your butts. Yeah.
Must go faster.
Must go faster. Must go faster.
Yeah.
That's one big pile of shit. God, there's a lot. There's a lot.
I think, though, a lot more people would say Jurassic Park had a bigger impact on them than Jaws did in terms of a movie.
Yeah.
There's a decade apart between those two movies too.
Yeah, that is true.
Oh, more than that, almost 2 decades.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah. 18 years.
So for me, Jurassic Park is my number one favorite movie. You know, I that tops my list of all-time favorite movies. I can watch it now and pretty much say every line in that film and love it. But Jaws, I don't know. It's here I am again. Jurassic Park probably wouldn't exist if Jaws that was never made.
Fair enough.
Well, I don't know about that.
It's an animal horror thing. You're not going to get how many.
That's not I don't think that no animal horror things would ever exist without.
Yeah, but I mean, what they did with the robotic shark, with kind of what they were doing.
Yeah, no, sure.
I think it all. Wait, aren't they the same director?
Yeah, Spielberg. Yeah, they're Spielberg movies. They're Spielberg movies.
Look, without Jaws, we wouldn't have Sharknado, and I would be sad.
That's what listeners may just said in the chat. Jaws made way for the Sharknado movies.
Or the Meg.
The Comic-Con bag nobody wanted.
Yeah.
Oh, I had that bag. You're right. I didn't want it. Listeners may says it was Jaws 19 for Back to the Future 2. Thank you, sir. Chris says what Steven Spielberg did with the original Jaws was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Tammy says the shark scared my dad on the Universal tour 30 years ago, mostly because he wasn't paying attention. He comes out of the water on the at the tram.
They don't do that anymore.
They took it out.
Yeah.
No, they. I just went on it not that long ago.
Did they put it back?
There's still a Jaws thing in there.
Because for a hot minute they took it out.
No, there's still. We have the Jaws thing. You go around the lagoon or whatever.
Lagoon. Yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad they kept it because
I went a couple years ago.
It is the California one.
Yeah, I went to Universal Orlando a couple years ago. My son, who's now 8, probably 5 minutes at a time, and he loves Jaws. And I wanted to take him on that ride. Either shut down or was out. I don't remember.
Yeah, they took that out of Florida a while ago.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's got a very white place.
Okay. All right, well, Francis, share some chat comments while I fix this.
Just share
That's a classic, says Jalou, but Jurassic Park is a classic 90s movie. Yeah, they're both considered classics, I would have to say. Tammy says, can't go. So, it seems Josh does have a lot of quotes. Here's this movie.
Yeah, that's a lot of or something. Yeah, Captain.
All right, is the audio better?
It's actually worse. Well, it's worse.
Like you're in a wind tunnel.
I sound like I'm in a wind tunnel?
Oh, no.
Okay. All right, good. All right, cool. All right, there you go. Thank you, guys. Those are actually probably some of the best things we've had in a while, right? The best like debates and everything for that.
Yeah, that was fun.
Those are fun. Like they weren't just characters; they were food. They were like movies. They were great.
Ain't. I want Krispy Kreme / Dunkin' Donuts right now.
All right.
On a burger, right?
There you go. You go going deep again, man.
You do that.
Keep going Darth on us, man. Let's see.
All right. Well, Francis, tell them what we're about to do here then, as I fix this again.
We're.
Is like Freon or something?
Nitrous, right? Nitrous is that, I think.
Going
Freon actually will drop your voice.
Freon definitely will. But, Freon might kill you.
Well, we're going to go, now that we're done with this night, Super Geeked Up, we're going to get into after hours. Or after hours. So again, you want to go and join us for a little bit of extra. Go to sean.com/stuff, and we'll have the after hours live stream. And anyone who pledges $3 a month can get in. And don't set up a show. So take a look at that right after we'll be talking some neat stuff as we like to do, because that's our thing.
Yeah, you hear me okay?
You're getting there. You're getting.
Yeah. It's
all right.
Softening up again.
So, folks, yes, if you go to if you're a Patreon supporter, go to patreon.com/supergeekedup. The top post in a couple minutes will be the after hours live stream, and just give me a couple minutes to set it up, and then you just go over there and you can watch right there. And we're going to talk favorite '80s action stars. Before we do that, though, Charles and Josh, give links one more time for people who are not going to join us for that. Charles, go ahead.
Okay. GSU.net is where you can find my few shows and a couple other awesome shows like Toy Power about toy collection, and Botch to D&D podcast, which is really just a drunken comedic show that uses Dungeons and Dragons together. So that's also there. And you can find me across social media, Rock God Podcasting. So there you go.
Nice handle.
Thanks.
And Josh.
You can find me on the Twitter at @3_ninja. You can find everything that I do at poipodcast.com. We find again a collective host of
Shows?
Fun people and awesome shows. We're with Francis called the POI Podcast.
All right, awesome. Francis, where they can find you?
The other guy. That's who I am. The other guy. So I guess for all that I do. So check it out today.
Oh, all right. Sexy. Supergeekedup.com, of course, for us folks. Super Geeked Up on Twitter. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to Charles and Josh for joining us.
Thank you.
Awesome guest. All right, and thank you, of course, to all of you for watching and all these great chat comments. Really appreciate it. To Francis for co-hosting, of course. So again, folks, if you're a Patreon, just go on over to patreon.com/supergeekedup, and we'll see you in a couple minutes. And for the rest of you, thank you so much for watching. We will see you next Wednesday, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific. Thanks so much, guys, and stay geeky, everybody. See you soon. Bye.